Mission, really, for this deep dive is to trace the incredible path of this man. He mastered the scalpel, sure, but he also fundamentally reformed the structures, even the philosophy of Iranian medicine. We'll look at his early years, the huge impact he had on surgery itself, and even his surprising step into politics later on.
And guiding our understanding, which is fantastic, is an incredibly perspicacious review by Dr. Reza Lankarani. He's a general surgeon and the founder of the Surgical Pioneering newsletter and podcast series.
His perspective is invaluable here.
Absolutely. It really sets the stage perfectly for what we're about to unpack. So, all right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Yahya Adl's story kicks off in Tabriz. He was born in 1287, which is 1908 or 1909 in the Western calendar.
Right.
And his family wasn't exactly ordinary. His father, Yusuf Khan Makram-ul-Mulk, was the deputy governor of Azerbaijan.
So influential from the start.
Definitely. Part of a prominent family. You know, relatives like Mustafa Adl, who basically founded Iran's modern judiciary, and Ahmad Hussein Adl, a minister of agriculture. It's clear he grew up in an environment that was, well, deeply involved in shaping the nation.
That background really provides, I think, crucial context.
Right.
His early schooling started there in Tabriz, at the Hikmat School. Then he did high school in Kermanshah.
Okay.
But what's quite telling is that his path wasn't straightforward. There was a pause in his studies. It actually stalled until his father personally funded his and his brother's education in France.
Ah, okay. So direct family investment.
Exactly. This commitment to getting an advanced Western education wasn't just, for personal betterment. It feels like a strategic move, one that would deeply shape his ability to modernize Iranian medicine later. It shows an early grasp of needing that outside advanced knowledge.
So he gets to Paris, and things take a bit of a turn there, don't they?
They do.
He first went into philosophy and mathematics, which is interesting.
Quite different.
Yeah. It was apparently his uncle who kind of nudged him towards medicine, specifically at the very well-regarded Paris Faculty of Medicine.
Right.
And once he graduated, he didn't just, pack his bags. He spent 2 really important years as an assistant and clinic director working under the famous Gregoire, focusing on surgery. How critical was that hands-on period?
Oh, immensely critical. That time in Paris wasn't just about reading books. It was about absorbing a whole new way of doing medicine.
Right, the practice.
Precisely. He spent years mastering both general and urological surgery. He got a level of expertise that, frankly, just didn't exist back in Iran at that time.
Okay.
His thesis in 1938-39, it was on treating adenopathy, basically swollen lymph nodes, and it earned him a silver medal from the faculty in Paris. A clear sign of his academic skill.
Definitely stands out.
Then he got the laureate degree in 39-40, and really quite remarkably, he returned to Iran just about a month before World War II kicked off.
Wow, talk about timing.
Right. So this really comprehensive, top-level European training didn't just make him a good surgeon, it gave him a vision, a blueprint for what Iranian medicine could become.
And he returned to an Iran that desperately needed that vision.
Absolutely.
So straight away, he joins the Faculty of Medicine. He's appointed professor of general surgery and also head of the surgical department at Sina Hospital. And at this point, Iran is facing a critical shortage of surgeons.
Yeah, a severe shortage. And this situation presents this massive challenge, right?
Yeah.
How do you build a modern surgical practice almost from nothing?
Yeah.
With hardly any resources or trained people?
A huge question.
And Adl's answer was, it was direct and transformative. He personally committed to doing multiple surgeries every single day, just tackling the need head on.
Incredible work ethic.
It really is. And notice he's not just called the father of modern surgery. It's father of modern surgery and anesthesia.
Ah, that's a key distinction.
It really is. It tells you about his holistic view. He understood surgery wasn't just the cutting, it was the whole system, including managing pain, which was also, pretty basic then. His willingness to just roll up his sleeves and fix the practical problem was absolutely foundational.
It's powerful, isn't it? Not just doing the work, but setting the standard. Creating the very definition of what good surgical practice looked like in Iran then.
Exactly. A testament to incredible drive, like you said.
And his influence, it went way beyond just his own operations. Yahya Adl created this distinct approach, this philosophy of surgery in Iran that became widely known as the Adl School. This wasn't just like a list of procedures.
No, precisely. That's the key. The Adl School, if you look at the bigger picture, it represented a fundamental shift in mindset. For me, maybe his most significant contribution was this. He managed to dissolve the fear among Iranian surgeons.
Fear.
Yeah, fear of complexity, fear of failure, perhaps. He instilled in them the confidence to actually attempt and succeed at complex operations. Before him, many procedures might have just seemed impossible, too risky.
So it's psychological as much as technical.
Absolutely. That empowerment of a whole new generation, it was monumental. He didn't just teach them how to cut, he gave them the courage to cut. And that lasts much longer than any single technique.
And this wasn't just an abstract idea, right? They formalized it. His students even started a scientific journal, Maktab Adl, which means School of Adl.
That's right.
And it was a platform for sharing the latest scientific info in surgery. So what does that tell us about the evolution of medicine there?
Well, it tells us he established a self-sustaining system, a way for learning, innovation, and excellence to continue growing. Now, obviously, new techniques were developing worldwide, and antibiotics certainly help surgical success everywhere.
Sure, context matters.
Of course. But Adl's leadership, specifically in building that confidence, fostering collaboration, sharing knowledge that was a critical, maybe often overlooked, factor in why he became so renowned. He didn't just import modern surgery. He built a resilient culture of surgical innovation and self-belief. That allowed Iranian medicine to really start flourishing on its own terms.
It's fascinating how leadership can be just as important as technical skill in these situations.
Absolutely essential, I'd argue.
Now, interestingly, Adl's life wasn't just the OR. His connections within the Pahlavi court and with high-ranking officials, they pulled him into politics eventually.
Right, his influence spread.
He became quite a significant political figure. He even served as Secretary General of the People's Party for a time after Asadullah Alam's step down.
Which raises that interesting question, doesn't it? How does someone's deep expertise in one specific field, like medicine, translate into broader national influence or leadership?
Yeah, how does that jump happen?
Adl's life shows it clearly. He also served, get this, 4 terms as a senator in the Iranian Senate, starting around 1963-64.
4 terms.
Yeah. So his ability to operate successfully in both medicine and politics really underscores the immense trust and respect he must have commanded across different parts of Iranian society. His impact went beyond health. It touched the governance of the country.
But his personal life, it wasn't without its own deep complexities and even tragedy. His daughter, Catherine Adl, she became involved in armed struggle against the government. And she was tragically killed in a clash with SAVAK, the intelligence service, back in 1975.
A devastating event for any parent.
Absolutely. But what's really quite striking is that despite how personal and politically charged this was, his own standing with the court apparently remained untouched. He stayed on as a trusted physician right up until the revolution.
That detail, it reveals something quite remarkable about him, doesn't it? And his standing. It speaks volumes about, well, perhaps his professional integrity, maybe his perceived indispensability.
Right.
To navigate that kind of personal grief linked to activities directly challenging the state and still keep the trust of the ruling powers. It suggests he held a really profound, maybe unique position. It points to a man who was perhaps in many ways seen as essential, maybe even above the political fray because of his medical contributions.
A very complex picture indeed. Yahya Adl passed away on February 3rd, 2003. He lived to the impressive age of 94.
A long life.
And he was laid to rest in Tehran's Behesht-e-Zahra cemetery. And as a kind of lasting tribute, his ancestral home has been registered as a National Heritage Site and restored.
Which is fitting. Looking at the bigger picture, that title, Father of Modern Surgery and Anesthesia in Iran, it puts him in this very select group of pioneers, people recognized for basically starting or fundamentally shaping whole fields in Iran, neurosurgery, genetics, and so on.
A pantheon of pioneers.
Exactly. His impact wasn't just making things a bit better, it was foundational. He established an entire discipline where essentially very little existed before him. He's a perfect example of how one dedicated, highly skilled person can genuinely establish and push forward scientific and medical capabilities in a nation, weaving their legacy right into its modern story.
It truly is extraordinary how one person, through sheer determination, intellect, and that pioneering drive, can leave such a lasting, transformative mark on a whole country's scientific progress. His life really is a powerful example of having a vision and making it a reality.
Couldn't agree more.
So, you've heard the story. Yahya Adl's journey, starting in Tabriz, shaped by Paris, returning to transform Iran. It wasn't just about introducing advanced surgical techniques. It was about building confidence, establishing a whole new way of thinking in medicine, all while dealing with, a complex political scene and personal life. He was, without doubt, a titan of his time.
Absolutely. And this whole deep dive, it kind of leads you to wonder, doesn't it? What does it really mean to be a pioneer in any field? Is it just about the new invention, the new technique?
Or is there more?
Or is it equally, maybe even more, about having the courage to inspire confidence in others, to train, to mentor, to build something lasting that goes way beyond your own individual practice? And maybe how do we spot and support those kinds of transformative figures today? People who don't just push boundaries, but empower whole generations to follow them.
That's a great question to leave people with, a really provocative thought. And this profound deep dive, it was based on that comprehensive review by Dr. Reza Lankarani, who we should also mention is an editorial board member of the Genesis Journal of Surgery and Medicine.
His work was central to this discussion.
Definitely. And for those of you listening who are keen to get into even more detail or explore more stories of surgical pioneering, you should definitely check out the Surgical Pioneering Podcast Series application. It's available at https://surgicalpioneer.codedex.me.
Well worth looking into.
Absolutely, we highly recommend it.